Mbappe was available against City last year, when City pushed up to the halfway line to condense the space, Mbappe would have been able to get in with Verratti balls all day long, but he couldn't. They had Icardi playing that role, and he couldn't. He didn't have the legs to penetrate.
The thing is they had Mbappe the other night, and he wasn't getting in all night on with them Verratti balls. So I do what you said. Agree to some extent with what you're saying about last season, but I don't particularly agree with that's the be all and end all why PSG have overtaken Man City, because they've gone out and gone absolutely crazy, and they've brought in about 5 or 6 quality players on frees. They've got Ramos as well, who they brought in on a free. PSG are not messing around. They're going to win the Champions League this season. They're going to be up there in the top 5 alongside Bayern, alongside City. Who's your other 2 teams?
So just on that, I have Bayern as the best team in Europe right now. PSG is the second best team, but my tip to win it this year is PSG. I mean, first of all,
so that's your top. That's your 3. Who's your other 2? Because you said top 5.
Third is Man City.
Yeah.
Third, I'm going with Man City. I get they don't have a striker, but it didn't stop them getting to the final. They control games where they suffocate opponents.
Quality football, City.
They absolutely do, and they've got go on consistent periods in the game. Then, number 4, I'm going with Liverpool. I mean, obviously, it's not something I'm not trying to be.
When their first 11's fit, they're firing.
I mean, they've come back now, and it looks like they've just deleted that last season, or they've come back out there and they've picked up where they were the season before. Defensively look strong, and you know the games that you think, oh, that could be a tricky one, or that one.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I think
they slapped Porto about, didn't they? And they are a strong team.
I just think Liverpool.
Jurgen Klopp.
It just pains me to say it. Jurgen Klopp, first of all, he's the type of guy you'd have a beer with. He's a lovely guy. You can tell he's a good manager. They're a good football team, and it pains me to say it.
And Salah's in top form as well, and he is a bit Ronaldo-esque in terms of numbers.
I personally do think that they could probably improve the midfield area and improve the striker, which is frightening, really, because if they did improve them areas.
Well, they have improved it, haven't they? They've brought,
I think Jota's a good
addition. He's an upgrade to Firmino, and then Thiago Alcantara. How's he not an upgrade to what they had previously? And I'm even watching.
They've lost Gigi Wijnaldum. Okay, I think he was key. Going on that, and as a matter of fact, he's gone to PSG.
He was, but
top team.
He was, but at the same time, John Henderson's kind of improved his game with the extra license.
I know.
A little bit. I
think Henderson, got great work ethic.
I think for England, every time I watch him play, I just think bang average. But for Liverpool, he is comfortably there at home.
Do you know what's one for another day? So just bank this. But a Henderson versus Carrick chat for another day. I know where most people would go with this, but as a purist, as a football purist, but that's one for another day. Just ponder.
Can I just say that?
Just move straight over.
I don't even have any interest in that debate. Like the 2 players, they're just not my kind of players. And like I say, right now we could use you, Michael. So no disrespect there. We could use him in there and helping his control, but they're just not my. They're not the Keane Scholes and the guys that fought my boat, to be honest. But Michael right now would be very much useful in that middle of the park.
Listen, it's one for another day. I'm a big Mike Carrick fan.
So yeah, I mean,
maybe I wasn't initially.
So I've got Liverpool 4th there, and I think Liverpool can definitely do something this season. They look strong.
Who's your 5th shout?
5th is Chelsea, and I know they just got beat off Juve, but I look at the defence. I think Thiago Silva's been tremendous. Kepa winning penalty shootouts out there. That Christensen, he's been doing well recently, and Rudiger's been phenomenal as a defender. I think both of the fullbacks, whether it's Reece James or Chilwell, they look great. The midfield, Jorginho, we know about him, obviously. Kante's arguably been the best midfielder in the world for 5 years in terms of off the ball and defensive work and giving people license to go forward. Kovacic.
I'm not going to disagree with you because Chelsea are they've
won it, and they've upgraded with Lukaku. So I think they're 5th. But the people in contention, I know Juve are a bit out of the picture from an Italian point of view, but I like that they've got Locatelli in there. They needed, since they lost Pjanic, they needed a midfielder. And I like the fact that they've gone out there and got Locatelli. Great to see him score the other day.
I don't know. I mean, I think Juve will come good, but I think they've started slowly. They're not the team they once was in terms of just being completely dominating the league. You've got Napoli now. You've got got Roma up there.
Do you know
Milan.
Do you know what though?
You've got AC Milan.
You see these. Yeah, but you see these cycles. They had 9 years.
Listen, Italy have got a real cash flow problem.
It was a problem for Juventus that Milan and Inter and these other teams, Napoli, weren't challenging. It was a problem for them because they get to the Champions League and it's like playing in Scotland.
Sold one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
maybe one of the best players to ever play football for something like 13 million.
Yeah, but
plus a few add-ons.
No, listen, I think
mad.
No, but I think it's a good deal for both because they needed to rebuild.
It's a great deal for us and Ronnie, but
yeah, no, it's good for Ronnie because Ronnie
could have easily kept him another year.
Yeah, but Ronnie wants to. He's looking at legacy and career-defining moments. He's not going to win a European Cup at Juventus in the next 2 seasons. He's not going to win it with that Juventus team in the next 2 years. Particularly,
you can't say that.
Particularly with no midfielder, and also,
did you watch him play Chelsea yesterday?
He was eating up 30 million a year, and I think the next biggest paid player was on 3-4 million. So he's eating up a full squad worth of players, and they need to push through the next generation.
When you talk about players who have that much money or that much, you've got to look at the impact that they're having on the club. Ronaldo comes into a football club and he's just much more than scoring goals. He brings love to the crowd, to the fans, to the support staff,
it's the whole brand thing.
He's
selling shirts
to the fans. Listen, at the end of the day, a football club is not a football club without the fans. I've heard Gary Neville say it a couple of times, but a football club is not a football club without the fans. I tell you what, Ronaldo has done something to United fans, and he's brought the love back. We saw that last night. He's brought the love back, fella.
I just think it was a good move for both teams. I think Juventus needed to go. They've had
the salary cap.
They've had
how much salary they've taking, but for me, Ronaldo. Juve are up there. They've still got a chance in the Champions League this season, and he could potentially finish it.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to say that Dybala, they've had him parked. They've had him on the park bench, parked in the parking lot for about a decade. Get him out there. Let him have his time to shine. Ronaldo, I just felt like they weren't close enough, even though they were when they first got him, to win Champions League. And when they lost Pjanic, I felt like there's a massive dip in Juventus.
Listen, but
I think
when you're talking about Juventus, you're talking about Ronaldo. We're talking about one of the greatest. We've already had this discussion. One of the greatest players to have ever played the game. He makes more of an impact being at Juventus than without him being there. I know what you're saying about the building for the future and all the rest of it. They could have had him for one more season if they were serious about winning the Champions League this year. They'd have more of a chance with him in the team than letting him go. I think they've done the right thing by letting him go, and I agree with you. I agree with your principles in terms of, why they let him go because of how much money he was taking up and all the rest of it. But in terms of winning the Champions League, they've got more of a chance of winning it, just like we've got more of a chance of winning it with him in the team than with him in another team.
I suppose as a United fan, who am I to criticise Juventus' midfield? But Rabiot in there, Bentancur, he's not going to win a Champions League. It's not at all. I mean, I like the fact that they've addressed, as a club, the fact that they've addressed the post Pjanic era.
But we also know that it's not just the team with all the names that necessarily wins the competition. We know that it's the best team that wins.
No, absolutely. And Allegri,
for example, have got all the names there.
Yeah,
all the names that you could want. Let's be honest. If we're going to pick between them and Bayern Munich right now, we're picking Bayern, aren't we?
Allegri will.
Are we?
What, between who?
Bayern and PSG.
I'm picking PSG.
You're picking PSG.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I think
they are the strongest.
No. Listen, I think right now the heavyweight champ with the belts, the guy there to beat is Bayern Munich. But I'm looking over at PSG and I think they've got better footwork, they've got better hand speed. They might be, you know what I mean? I think it's a new sick. I think they're coming out there throwing haymakers.
But let's see how it unfolds. But I think the 3 points for Manchester United was much needed. I think there's a feel good factor back at the club. They need to do well against Everton because if they don't, it's just going to bring a negative vibe. Because there is that expectation there now. Whether we like it or not, since Ronaldo's joined, Sancho's joined, Varane's joined, there is an expectation there. But like you said, once we start gelling, we've got some tough games coming up. We've got to play Atalanta twice, and we've got got some tough games on the horizon. So we need to just steady the ship, get a bit of consistency, and if we do that, we've got a real chance of doing something.
In terms of the other teams contending, my overall point was obviously Juve have just beaten Chelsea. That's basically where I was going. Juve beating Chelsea, but I don't look at Juventus as a team that I see ready to win the Champions League at all. But I like the fact that Federico Chiesa now gets to start. He gets to fly. We need him. We need Moise Kean playing. We need Locatelli. They've all got a nice stage to take the next leap and to hopefully transition Juventus into a new successful period.
Chiesa's the real
and I was we love Cristiano Chiesa. We love the big guy. We were awesome again. Great goal against Rudiger, against Chelsea. I love to see it.
Quality.
So even though, like I said, I've got Chelsea 5th, I think the batting above their average, they'll find the mean. I don't think they're going to do anything in Europe. I don't think they're going to do anything in the Premier League. I think they'll be lucky to win anything this year. I think their expectations are lofty. But they won the European Cup, and everyone's like, "Oh, these guys, watch them," and they've not really played well. They've just ground out a few results.
They've got a coach who's absolutely top draw. They've got a coach there who can win you can win big games. He gets. Let's say, for example, Chelsea play PSG in the final. I tell you what, I'd be likely to say Chelsea, because he knows how to set a team up. They play three. They push the wing backs high up the pitch. You've got players in the middle of the pack. You've got Kante who can run all day and all night. You've got Giorgi, who we know from Italia, and our Gruppo, that he can knit everything together. And then you've gone out and bought one of the best strikers in the world in Liga.
Okay, but when you're saying Thomas Tuchel, right? Defensively, I look at Kovacic and Jorginho and
Kovacic has been playing well this season,
and Kante and they
really well.
Listen, they're all elite.
They've got Mason Mount as well.
No, but I'm saying they're elite DMs, yeah, all of them in their own right. In terms of this, they're all elite. And then you've got
that's a better view for me, by the way.
And then you've got Thiago Silva, who I think's been one of the best defenders in the Premier League this season. Definitely. You got Thiago Silva, and he's orchestrating it. So when you're saying defensively, he knows how to set him up. I think Thiago Silva is leading that shit. I think Kante is leading that shit. Now, when I look at the coach,
I like Rudiger, me.
When I look,
Christensen.
But do you know what? The leader back there. Listen, the leader.
Alonso's quality.
All of them.
Ben Chilwell's not even getting a game.
Listen, they're all quality, but the guy who's leading all that is Thiago Silva. From what I can see, what I look at Thomas Tuchel is, how are you attacking? That's what that's our judgment, and I don't think
with Thiago Silva, you've got a guy there, PSG captain, AC Milan captain, Brazil captain. You've got real experience in there. You've got a winner who's one thing.
He's probably been the best defender for the last 20 years.
Listen,
there or thereabouts.
Again, you love saying,
one of the best. I said one of the best. I didn't say the best.
He's definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been one of the best. And what I've said, we can definitely see that he has been, because Chelsea, when they won the Champions League last year, it was down to their clean sheets, their defensive efficiency, and their leadership. And I felt more of that come from Thiago Silva than Thomas Tuchel. But I'm not taking credit away from him. I'm just saying, offensively, did they scare you, Chelsea? They didn't scare you, did they?
Chelsea.
We've got Lukaku up top. He's hit and miss.
Listen, Chelsea under this manager, let me tell you, different ball game. Tactics, fantastic, incredible, counter-attacking. They've got wing backs. Alonso is underrated. Right, let me just put that out there. That guy's.
I'm a big Marcus Alonso. I'm a big
fantastic output.
He's a Spanish Grosso, isn't he?
Incredible.
Is he a Spanish Grosso?
Right. It's a close shout. Reece James, really like him, but do you know what? They've got backup as well. They've got a young guy, what's the young lad called? He came in.
Is it? Or,
Chabot or something.
Chalobah.
Yeah, came in beginning of the season. What a player he is! I mean, and he's there in the wings, and it looks like they're building something. Mason Mount, they've got a bit of youth in there mixed with experience. I think these guys have strengthened. They've got Jorginho, he's just won the Euros. They've got Kante, a World Cup winner. They've got real experience all over the park. They've got a great spine. I like Rudiger at the back.
What can Chelsea win this season?
I don't know. But I don't want to say they're not going to win anything. Right. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be quite happy with what's going on.
Yeah, well, no. Listen, I just think expectations have been raised because of performances, because of the trophy.
Expectations. Every team is strengthened. Arsenal's look at Arsenal when they lose a couple of games. Arteta out. He's under pressure. You know, Tuchel for me, he's come in there. And, listen, you know at Chelsea, Tuchel's as cool. You know, he's always telling jokes when he's doing interviews because he knows that if he doesn't win the Champions League, guess what? He could get sacked. That's how brutal it is down there. So no one has to say, "Oh, Chelsea are going to do X, Y, and Z." With that guy in charge, for me, he's a good tactician. He's a good guy. I like the way he comes across.
He's a good leader as well, isn't he?
He's a great leader. And he's brought in the right kind of players. You can tell that the guy's a footballer.
I don't like the business
with guys like Neymar and Di Maria.
I don't like the business of bringing people on and taking them off. But if you've got to make a point to make your point that you've not followed an instruction, that's what you got to do.
Listen, he's the manager, isn't he?
It is,
that's what managers do. They have to make hard decisions.
Ultimately, I'm not judging him on what I've seen from him and PSG and him and Chelsea. I'm just saying defensively.
Don't write Chelsea off.
Defensively, strong. Offensively, as a unit, I'm not fully convinced in Chelsea. That's just where I feel. Now, I've still put them fifth in my all-round pick, but I think there's Juve, who are not like we saw them defeat them the other day without Morata, without Dybala, and Ronaldo leaving at the beginning of the season. They've got a false nine in Bernardeschi and Chiesa leading the charge. So, you know, they're not, and obviously the midfield now driven by Locatelli. He's still young. Now, Atletico, the Spanish champions, they're in and around there. They can easily do better. I like them more than Chelsea, really. But I just think Chelsea deserve to be in fifth on the list. But Atletico, if you look at their record, winning the title, bam. Real Madrid, we can't talk about Real Madrid, can we? They're out there with getting beat by a team with a fake sheriff badge and a team called Sheriff. Dortmund, they're exciting. Can't really see them. You know, maybe a top 10 team. Would you say maybe a top 10 team?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really bothered about who's in the top 10, who's in the top 20. To be honest,
but I'm just saying, and United obviously, like there's them.
I mean, what you've basically done is you've done what most football fans would do, which is just look at who the best teams are, who got the best players, and say, right, okay, and put them in the order. And I think you're going to be there or thereabouts. I don't think when it comes to the Champions League, when you listen to what Bruno said and you see the results that we've seen this season. Yeah, you're getting now. These margins are a lot smaller. You don't have to have £100 million striker to win a game of football, but they help. You know, they do help. Well, and they do make the difference when you need to find margins.
You just have to look back to last season. The Europa League winners,
Real Madrid off just because they lost the game.
The Europa League winners and the European Champions League winners were both the underdogs. So I totally see your point in terms of, you know, you can't necessarily, but you can look at who's performed the best over the last couple of seasons and say who is in current form and over the recent history, and what we've seen from their team, how do we rank the teams in like where they're at? And I think United can beat all of them teams on the day. I think Juve could give most of the teams a game on the day. You know, I think there's a lot of teams that can cause. United have the ability. They have the ability to go to Paris last year.
That's what being a fan's all about. Hope.
They went to Paris last year and they were able to beat them and do a good performance against them, missing some players, and now we've improved. So there's opportunities there. But I'm saying that's how it shakes up. United we just need to hang in the battle, hang in the Champions League, hang in the Premier League, while the team settles down and gets some continuity.
We're entertainers. As long as I tune in and I'm entertained. That's what I'm looking for.
It's not entertaining to lose though, or draw, is it?
It's not entertaining to lose horribly or to miss a penalty in the last minute like we did against that. But with Manchester United, we'll support our club through thick and thin.
No, absolutely. I think you're looking at United, and I just think what they need to do is stay in the Champions League, to get out of the groups and stay in the Premier League. And then as you see the team starting to gel and the benefits of having them key players that we've added, I think throughout the season you'll then see us have more confidence, not just going into games drawing against Chelsea and Liverpool, but beating them with our difference makers.
I like the way we're setting up. And what you've got to remember as well is people are just saying, oh, Solskjaer, but there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of people there. You've got a lot of United players there. You've got Mike Carrick there. You've got Darren Fletcher there. You've got all these people around the club. You've now brought Ronaldo back. You know, you've got some serious people around Manchester United Football Club that are trying to trying to keep our philosophy, trying to keep our ethos that we're a family and we're there to entertain, and that's what we do. We play attacking football. We get the ball wide, we play attacking football, we score goals, we create chances. That's what Manchester United do, and as long as we're doing that, if we lose, we lose. Yeah, if we draw, we draw, and if we win, we win. But it's how we go about it. And when I'm seeing Cavani doing 80-meter dashes, keeping balls in, and I'm seeing Bruno Fernandes track back 75 yards, running full pelt and making tackles from the side and behind and winning the ball. When I'm seeing that from our players, that's all I can ask for. Jesse Lingard, everything that guy's been through, you know what I mean? Everything that Lingard has been through, for him to have the courage to stick his chest up and say, do you know what, guys? You could see a Billie Jean celebration. Do you know what, Jesse? Score me another goal and give me a Billie Jean celebration. Yeah, and I'll get involved with you. Because I love that. Pogba, you've had a new hairdo. Yeah, I know you were a little bit disappointed because things didn't work the other night against Villarreal, but
it's all right, Pogs.
They're a Spanish team.
It's all right, Pogs.
They're a Spanish team, and we love you. Do you know what? More importantly, and do you know what I saw? I saw Ronaldo come over to you at the end of the game and went, "Come in here, come for the real thing, for the real thing, and give you a massive hug." Yeah, you're a massive part of what we're trying to do here, Pogs. And that's where you came back. Don't now move and let your agent get loads of money. Just stay where you are. You know what I mean? You loved it. You're loved at United. And let me tell you something, mister. When you get in your flow again and start scoring 35-yard screamers, there's no other place you'd rather be than in the theatre of dreams. Because we're going to be on our feet screaming, just like millions of other people around the world. Cement yourself in the legacy, son. Yeah? Stay in the fire, Pogba. We love you. We want you to stay at the club.
We've got to do Pogba another day.
Absolutely. Loving the new hairdo though, Paul. You keep rocking that. Beautiful.
Labile. Yeah, you can't just say Paul. You got to say Labile because the guy's just on a different level.
Tellez has had a little bit of a fade as well. Looks better, son.
He's been to the barbers, hasn't he?
But listen, United guys out there, gotta stay focused. Stay in the zone. Entertain us. That's our style of football. We'll entertain you. Yeah, hopefully for the better rather than for the worse. So we're entertaining.
Just on that, PSG, your tip to win it?
No.
Do you have a tip? Do you think it can come from 1 of 7, 1 of 8?
I think there's a lot of good teams out there, and I think it's too early to start calling things like that. But I understand why you said what you said, and if you look at the way that it's strengthened over the summer, and when you've got Leo Messi in your team, you can see what Ronaldo's done to our club. And did you see his reception when he joined PSG? Messi, incredible.
I think PSG are my favourites, and Bayern Munich, Lewandowski. If Lewandowski stays fit, are going to run them right close. They're the two I have my eye on. But for United, just stay in the Champions League, just stay in the Premier League. And
keep an eye on Chelsea in that
and
just
League.
I think they'll get far, mate.
On the media thing, because of what you get from outside forces, people that don't like United, that are in the media, have like a kind of, like you say, drinking their hair, but have a kind of ill feeling towards United. So it's important because United have so massively followed that United fans internally are not like Solskjaer out. I mean, if you are a United fan and you're Solskjaer out, you need to go and look at yourself in the mirror. Obviously, there's a lot of nonsense being spouted on social media and on Twitter, but I saw a really, really poignant one the other day that I really enjoyed and I want to share it with you. It just said, if you couldn't enjoy that 95th, 96th minute winner because you felt like we got battered for most of the game, then you wouldn't have enjoyed us winning the treble in 99. That's United at their apex, at their very best.
Right, listen, because après, as Zio Pompey would say, yeah? But I just want to say this on Solskjaer. If there's any Manchester United fan out there who has any kind of doubts about what Solskjaer is all about, please do me just one small favour. It'll take you approximately 5 seconds. Look at his reaction to Ronaldo's goal. And tell me that isn't the man that you want managing your team for the rest of the season.
No. That's it. It's not just about self-passion. It's about collective family passion. But we're going to jump from United to Italy next time we're back. Nations League, Italy, 37 games undefeated, looking at 38 against Belgium, and then potentially France or Belgium for 39.
Have we got the badge there now, Italy? We have, haven't we?
Oh yeah. Campione.
I think we might have to consider an upgrade on the t-shirt.
Federico Chiesa smacking goals past the European champions. I love to see that. Marco Verratti. Let me just say, Marco Verratti. I've been telling people, I've been telling the world, although not everyone's tuning in, but I've been telling you all, Marco Verratti is the real deal Evander Holyfield. And you don't want to believe it until you see it, but he showed it you at the Euros. And you're like, oh, let's keep Locatelli in there, and let's keep Barella and Jorginho. No, Verratti has to come in there, and he showed you why. And the other day, against a committee of Manchester City that control possession, Marco Verratti's doing things out here, controlling the tempo and playing as a midfielder. I think that's
Marco,
unrivaled. We love you, Marco. Grand Marco.
Marco Verratti is just a class act. You know, he can find a pass in any space in that midfield, and
he fancies against Spain. If Chiesa and Verratti, they're our two players, aren't they?
Listen, I don't like making predictions, but I think Italy are going to play well regardless.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's going to be a tough one because Spain do like to keep the ball. And I think they play like boring football, but it's going to be interesting. Either way, I just hope we can do it. I think
I've got one little cheeky conundrum for you. Who is more important right now, or who's better, more valuable to the team, Chiesa or Verratti?
Chiesa.
It's got to be Chiesa, just because we have such a surplus of midfielders.
Got a quality midfield.
We have, and we can cope without Verratti out. But if Chiesa's out at the moment, I'm not sure.
He's our match.
He's our match winner. He's our match winner. But but we love you, Marco, too.
Yeah, Gran Marco, Forza.
Yeah, so we'll see you next time. At Owen Luciano, at J_J Coyle, Coyles Calcio Corner. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ragazzi.